Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Real Talk. Today's episode is, as you can see from the title, a review of the game we just had against Valencia, and what a beautiful game it was. Real Madrid came out on top, roaring performances, absolutely bangful first half from us, and the result of the match was 4 goals to 0 from Real Madrid. Early on, the scorers in this game, Kylian Mbappe opened the scoring with a penalty, then he scored his second goal, followed by an absolute banger from Jude Bellingham, and then the first goal. It was the first goal for a new player of our team, first season, first goal with Real Madrid, a beautiful, just just near the outside of the goal, banger with the left foot, outer foot shot, inner foot curving shot from Alvaro Carreras. This was a beautiful game. This was a very nice tempoed game. This was a lot to talk about, a lot to brief, but an overall good result for me. This was one of the best games I've watched this season from us. And I say something because we've had some good games this season. Even though sometimes I may rip into it, we've had some good games. So let me just get everything ready and we'll get into that review, but we will be breaking it down and diving deep. Okay, so the first point I want to make in that game is that early on, from the start of the game, Real Madrid managed to set up our control and our tempo for this match, and we held it first. So for me, I'll break this game into the two halves, the first half and the second half. I watched more of the first half. I had gone out and then started to watch the second half from around the 60th minute. So those first should be 15 minutes of the first half, of the second half starting. I didn't watch that, but from that I could build a picture. From the second half, I could build a picture. This game was slower in the second half for us than it was in the first half, because that first half I watched it from the kickoff, and boy, can I tell you, I did not regret waiting to go out before watching that. I did not regret it because I was gonna go out. It's a funny story. Actually, I was gonna go out, and then I said, okay, let me just watch the first half of the game, go ahead, take a shower, then go out for the second half, and maybe catch it on my phone or something on the way. So I said I'm gonna stay for the first half, and like I'm saying again, I made the right choice. I made the perfect choice because for me, guys, this game was worth it. So early on, we had that penalty in the 19th minute. So that penalty for me, at first I thought the word penalty was given because I wasn't really like focusing. I was really on my phone for a bit of it, but then I noticed I thought it was for the Mbappe or Bellingham drop that happened in the box. But turns out, as the player as the cross is coming in from Masantuano on the corner from the right side of their goal, the ball bounces off the head of Militao and then bounces off the inner left arm. So anyone who was thinking it hit the right arm of the defender, and then like you're like, no, but it didn't. You need to go check that replay. It hits his left arm, it bounces off. And the one thing I love, because guys, I've said it before. If it's a Real Madrid game and there's a penalty for Madrid, even if we score, even if we miss it, as long as the penalty is given. If it's a penalty, especially where the referee is hasn't yet like pointed to the spot, he more like deliberates over it, checks the VAR, comes back in, says it's a penalty. It'll always mostly be seen as this controversial take. It'll be like, was it really a penalty? It's Real Madrid doing the referee thing again. But for me, that one, I love the fact that even the Valencia players, and I can't speak for all of them, but for me, the Valencia players, they did not really look like they complained too much about it. The defender himself, he was more telling the ref, like, don't you think it's a bit harsh, like trying to get that, instead of like trying to deny it entirely, because he did feel it, and he did say, okay. He just looked down, he said, my bad, it was a moment. Mbappe steps up. Mbappe, who just by the way, before let me not even just gloss over this because this is such a big thing. Before the game started, was presented with the Golden Boot for the La Liga season for Europe. I think this is the European one that he got. Yes, the European Golden Boot for the 2024-25 season. Beautiful thing. Received it in front of our home crowd. It's always a good thing when you can do it in front of your home crowd, because when it's away, they're not really gonna hype you for that. Like, okay, you scored some of those goals against us. We what are we gonna do? But first of all, just a little back history on this game. Valencia, the last time we played them last season, wasn't the best visit to their stadium, because we went to their stadium, and if I'm not mistaken, that was the game we actually lost. And I think it was the one where Hugo Duro came in last minute from the last game and managed to score. And yeah, it should have. I fact checked that, it actually ended 2-1. It's the one where they had scored, then we equalized, and then last minute Hugo Duro with that amazing back header into the goal. Last season was bad season, but this one was our revenge, and boy did we step in our revenge. So as I was saying, we get that penalty by the 19th minute, then Mbappe scored. Now he's on 10 goals, I think, for the season, or he's now on 11 goals this season. So the game continues moving. We continue pressing. One thing I'll give like big shout out to the team for in the first half is our midfield defensive control was impeccable. They were doing the absolute best job I've seen almost the whole season. I'm calling it early. I think it would take a lot for a performance in the first half for the rest of the season to surpass what I saw against Valencia today, because if you want me to let me put it into some context for you if you don't understand what I mean. I'll give you an example. Thibaut Courtois, if I'm not mistaken, made his first save of the game in the second half. And that was when I started watching. And I told you I didn't start watching until like the 60th minute. And I'm not even joking. This is an actual factual statement I'm making. Thibaut Courtois did not make a save the entire first half. In other contexts, when someone says this, it means, oh, he conceded 10 goals, he conceded 4 goals, he conceded goals in general, or they were just missing off target. No, he did not have a single shot come to him on target in which he needed to make a save, because for the entirety of the first half, I think they had about 2 to 3 attempts go past that defensive back line into the danger position. But even then, it was promptly taken away either by Dean Huijsen, who had a lovely game, or by Chouameni, who, just following their Clasico, had another defensive masterclass. I'm going to call it early defensive masterclass. I think all the defenders deserve their props for this one, because it was a 4-0 game. We had 4 goals scored, 0 conceded, very few danger to worry about in that game. Maybe 1 or 2 that could have been goals, but that example I've given speaks for itself, I believe. So the game moved on. We continued passing. We were having beautiful countering. The 4 people in the attack today, because for me, Marc-Antoine, I don't think he had the best game. I actually think that it's this might sound a bit harsh, but I feel like Endrick, when he came on, because he did play this game, by the way, so big up Endrick fans out there. He did play for like the last 6-7 minutes of the game. I think he did very much in the time, like attacking wise, and I think it could be a bit of a thing, but like I would have even started him, because Marc-Antoine wasn't bad, by the way. He had a good game also, just relatively good game, because he didn't do anything too wrong, he didn't make any mistakes, but he was just quiet. He was the only one I feel who, attacking wise, didn't show me a lot of that fear factor. But for me, I understand with him. I think he should be 18, 19. This kid is young. I call them kids, but they're my age. But he's young. He's a youngster. He's gonna have time to learn. He's gonna have time to, adapt and continue doing like these beautiful, bright things in his career. So for me to come out here and slander it doesn't make sense. But later on, we get the ball. I think it was Vinicius Jr. lays a pass into Bellingham. Bellingham gives a lovely through ball, cutting through the defense to Arda Güler, who finds it wide, just shy of the outside line for the corner. Chips in a cross, and I was thinking, there's no way. Like he already outran it. So I was thinking, there's no way he's gonna connect with this. Lo and behold, Kylian Mbappe makes it 2-0. This guy's on fire form. This guy is literally, and the commentator said it too, this guy is literally at this point just scoring goals for fun. He didn't even think that was going to go in, because I feel like, part of me feels like he was trying to control it. He was more trying to trap it, then fire it with his right. But then it bounces off his left, just like the right position for it to go in. Gets his goal, gets 2 goals in the game. He's up to 12 goals in the league now, which is just amazing. I think it's 18. I made a mistake in my previous video. I said he has got like 20 for us. He hasn't got 20 yet, but now he's on 18 goals for Real Madrid. Then the moment came in the first half where a fast start led to a beautiful counter attack that led Vinny to going through his normal route where he stops. There's a little shimmy, cut in, cut out, goes through. Keeper saves it off him, but it bounces out. Carreras goes for it, and the defender, Carreras, does a very smart thing. Kicks it out early, because I don't know if that was what he was looking for, but from the way he did it, it might as well have been, because he kicks it out, and then just after he kicks it out, the defender just absolutely clutters into his leg. And that one, for me, if you're going to be one of those people who say you can complain about Madrid having penalties in like every game, but if you're going to complain that wasn't a penalty, I don't know what eyes you're using to see that, because he just absolutely goes into him, clutches into his foot. And then, of course, from there, we have another penalty. Now, this is where I have an interesting thing to talk about. We have a penalty in that one. It's set up. Mbappe has 2 goals already. This is 2-0, by the way, in the game. Mbappe is on a hat-trick. Kylian Mbappe, who's already scored a penalty. I think maybe because he already had that golden boot early in the game, like the golden boot presentation, and then going into scoring 2 goals within 31 minutes of the game, I think he didn't want to make it look like I'm out here all for myself. So I think he was happy and content enough with everything the day has given him. And from the way the match was playing out, he probably thought, okay, I will have another chance to go for another goal. So out of his humility, and this one you cannot even tell me I'm full glazing. This is actual fact. We know this was fact. Out of his true humility, because that's what that was, he gives the penalty to Vinicius Jr. to take it. And I mean when I say humility, because this is a guy who's just 1 goal. It's like you score a penalty, and like think about it. Think about fate putting a hat trick into your hands. You score a penalty, and then you get another goal. A beautiful assist that lands accidentally. I think you're trying to trap it. It ends up entering the goal. So your 2 goes up, just like that. Not as fast as maybe Nottingham Forest did to Manchester United, but I'm just ripping into the Man United fans. But he does it, 2 goals, and then fate drops you another penalty. Like, it's almost like it was written in the stars. Kylian Mbappe will score a hat trick today. You could have a chance to have 19 goals in the season, 13 in La Liga. He gives it to Vinicius Jr. He had no reason to do that. Genuinely, no one would even be upset. No one would say he's showboating, no one would say this is PSG Mbappe. And even the commentators mentioned it. They said he had troubles doing such things, because we know for a fact, if this was PSG, and I mean prime PSG Mbappe, like 2020, 2021, 22, 23 Mbappe, I don't care if it's Jude, I don't care if it's Vinny, I don't care if Valverde comes in, I don't care if Courtois wants to have a kick, I don't care if the coach, if Xavi Alonso walks up, nobody was going to be able to take that penalty off from Mbappe. And if you did, he was going to be livid. He would show it in his facial expressions when he was at PSG. We all remember the one with Cavani, we remember the one with Neymar, we remember a time when people were making rumors about Messi, if he was going to let him take the penalties. He lets him take it. I said, okay, bet. I just had a bad feeling about it, because I'm like, why wouldn't you give it to the guy who's already scored? And then for me, I've always been one to have a bone with Vinicius' penalties, because not that he's bad at them, he's scored a quite few number of good penalties in his career, but I just always feel like he doesn't have that ability to mentally clear before taking the penalty. I don't know if it's just me nitpicking, but or maybe I'm just talking because I have hindsight of the fact that what happened. So Vinicius gets the penalty, steps up, and now this is where my suspicions were 100% confirmed, because I'm not even hating. I love Vinicius. I've defended him, and I will continue to defend him to the ends of the earth. But that was the most cheeks penalty I've seen since Mbappe's against Chesney in the El Clasico. And don't get me wrong, Chesney, amazing save, but Mbappe did the one problem I hate with attackers and penalties. I would never, even when I'm playing like EAFC, I'd never hit a penalty in that middle line. I feel like that's just the red zone, because sometimes even if you get them on the wrong direction, like you send the keeper the wrong way, but if he's like a Courtois type, or even just like jumps not that far off, if you hit it middle, it can like bounce off his leg. He can still leave his arm here, it bounces off his arm. You can like hit it and it hits his middle body. He can actually just save it. Like Chesney's, Vinicius Jr. hits one of the most like middle range, slightly to the left, slightly low penalties I've seen. Weak power, weak effort. He tried going to the other side to sway the keeper. The keeper just read him like a book on that one, saves it, and I felt bad. Genuinely, I was upset that he missed it first. But after he missed it, I just started to feel bad. I started to feel bad because I knew that this is what the narrative is going to be. And I'm happy that we managed to win by this large margin, because it's shifted the narrative, because now we're just talking about how good a game and how good a result this was for us in the long run and just from today. But I did feel bad because I said, and the commentator mentioned what I said. I think I should have just been on commentary today, because the commentator said what I was thinking. When just before Jude Bellingham scored his goal, he said, this is a game that was 2-0, but we know that it could have been 3-0 already for Real Madrid. If, and then he had to emphasize, because he didn't want it to seem like that, but he said, if and only if Kylian Mbappe scored that penalty, like took it and scored it. And everyone was thinking, and I don't want to be that type of person who works in a hypothetical, but realistically, if you ask me my odds, if Jude took it, if Mbappe took it, maybe Valverde took it. Okay, Valverde had that one in the Club World Cup. I'll remove him from this. Jude, Mbappe. I do statistically think they would have scored. I do think Mbappe would have scored because he would have been in the keeper's head. I think Bellingham would have scored because I think I'm yet to see him miss a penalty for us, unless I go back and check. So I just started thinking, why did Mbappe give it to Vinny? And I hated that I had that thought, because I knew that's the thought that everyone analyzing this would have. But it did not kill us. I was happy. I thought this was maybe the moment where the pace started to shift a bit, and then if they made it 2-1, we would be thinking, oh, it's supposed to be 3-1, but Vinicius Jr. did what he did. He had to have his name on the scoreboard. He's jealous of Mbappe. He couldn't just let Mbappe have his hat trick. Oh, why did Mbappe give it to him? No, why do you change that? But the one thing I'll agree with even I believe some haters would say is an objective opinion, which is that I don't think it's good to change your penalty takers mid-game. I've always been against that idea. I don't care if I have 8 goals in a game and 4 of those were penalties. I wouldn't give someone else to take it, because one, if I've scored 4 times, it's like Mbappe in the World Cup. If I've scored that first penalty and I've scored the second goal to make it 2-2, and then we get a penalty in extra time, final minutes, the one he had in the World Cup final, I wouldn't give it to someone else because I'm in Martinez's head. I'm in the keeper's head. If in my example where I scored 8 and 4 were penalties, I'm in his head. I've scored 4 times. Even if it's harder for me because now I have to find the almost impossible penalty to put here because he's like, okay, I went maybe 3 left, 1 right, or maybe 2 Panenkas, 1 left. Will he go right? Will he go left? I'm still in his head. We're playing mental warfare here, and I'm telling him, you failed to beat me 4 times. This is going to be 5. When you give it to someone else, they now have to account for the thoughts of the keeper and the thoughts of the striker. So Vinny was probably thinking, okay, Mbappe sent him right and scored left. Will he be going that side again to the right, or will he go to the left this time, thinking I might try and copy Mbappe? But then he's also thinking, but if Mbappe, and I know maybe he wasn't, but these are some things that I think rushing through his mind when you transfer. He's thinking, okay, how would Mbappe beat this guy? Then he also has to match it with himself. Where do I actually feel most comfortable hitting it? And I could tell that penalty, he went for a safer option because he thought, I think he's not going to go this side entirely. He's also going to go this side and I can hit it here. Simple, place it, leave it. Didn't hit it with too much power. Didn't use too much precision to place it exactly somewhere. And that's how he missed it. But it didn't affect us. Jude Bellingham gets the ball. Top right of the box from the Valencia goal side. Beautiful skill on the first defender. Beautiful little cut in, cut out on the second defender. Pushes it up just outside the corner of the box and fires a rocket, almost like Vinicius Junior-esque curler down to the bottom left corner. Keeper can't touch it. No one can stop it. Jude Bellingham scores a banger. That's 3 games straight. Coming back from injury, coming back from injury time, he's had 3 games now where he's scored 3 games straight. He scored the winner against Juventus. He scored the winner against Barcelona in a big game in the Clásico, and he scored this banger, which technically could have even been the winner because 3-0, you're basically in the mud. Everyone felt it. The game was ours for that first half. Then the game continued. So Mbappe, that's my first point. From the first half for me, defensive structure was amazing. Midfield performances were crazy because they were moving that ball back and forth. Arda Güler had a beautiful game today, and the attack, Mbappe's finishing was lethal. Vinicius Junior missed the penalty, but was still very critical, to our attacking movement because he was doing the numbers today. He was actually tracking back today. The movement of the ball today, I was impressed. I don't think I've watched this play such a tactically beautiful first half performance, or just performance, like tactical wise, like off the ball movements and one touch passing. We were moving like a spider web. That was beautiful. Second half came in. For me, it was a bit of a slow second half. I expected it because sometimes you don't really think like, okay, you scored 3 goals, because even just for the team, for Valencia's sake, we've scored 3 goals. They're going to be playing high-end defense. They're going to be holding down, waiting for that chance. They're not going to be full on pressing us, leaving space at the back, because we score 1 is 4, we scored 2 it's 5. So they were going to be defending, and that's what they did for the longest period of it. But the game progressed very well. Some substitutes came in. Rodrigo came in. Or Endrick came in. Ceballos, who had actually a very beautiful game for me. I think he had a very good game. He was doing his prime Ceballos thing, comes in maybe for the last 30 minutes of the game and just starts showing like some midfield class. Because I stand by the statement I made. I said, if not for like a Europe top elite team, Ceballos is a starter in any other team. For me personally, hot take, I even think in any like bottom like 6 going down, like apart from the big 6, 7 going down, English Premier League, Ceballos can be a starter in that midfield, and he can cook because that guy technically is so beautifully gifted and so great at controlling the ball and the movement of the ball into the attack and from the defense. His only problem, he was playing in a team that had Modric and Casemiro, and then he was playing in a team that had Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and Jude Bellingham. He's always been pitted, and now he's playing in a team which has Master Antoine and Arda Güler. So it's never gonna be like, these are like naturally gifted, talented people. He's someone who's naturally gifted, but just not as great as those guys to say. So it's just unfortunate. But when he gets his minutes, and he said it himself, he said, I know for a fact I could be a starter at any other club I would go to, like a lower team than Real Madrid. But this is the highest elite, and I'm getting to play. And in those short minutes, I'll prove just how good I am. And I'm okay with my role, and I love it because that's how he plays. He was beautiful in that game. We had a lot of control. Eventually, now we go to the moment. Rodrigo gets the ball in the box. The little skill shimmy, cuts out, hits the shot, deflects off the defender. Carreras, beautiful, traps it from the outside of the box. This is the left side of the box from where the other side of the goal now. Traps it from the box, goes inside, gets his angle right, And I don't even know what came over him. I think the spirit of Valverde is missed because Valverde kept trying. By the way, Valverde kept trying to get that goal. I think he's still yet to score a goal in the season. This season, he hasn't scored yet, which is crazy because I would assume he would have like at least 4 goals by now. But he kept trying. He kept trying that same Valverde shot. Even had one that actually, funnily enough, he scuffed through it. He didn't manage to connect with it. But Carreras gets it, and like in some prime Valverde fashion, like that, just like I want to whip it. He just whips that thing, bro. Boom! Straight up. I thought it took a deflection because I was like, okay, if he scored that, it took a deflection. He hit it with his left foot, but he's coming from the left side. So you can imagine his angle. Nah, he curves it so good, his body even moved with him. He did that. Poof, scuffs the ball straight. When I tell you that was actual top bins, top corner, top right corner of the goal. I'm not even joking. Straight up nails his position. That was a 5-star shot, 5-star finish, and what a goal for his first goal as a Real Madrid player for us. He was so happy because normally I could tell he was truly happy. By the way, is when people score their first goal, sometimes even be it for Everton, be it for Madrid, be it in the Champions League, be it in what, they're gonna celebrate their heart out. They're gonna be, yeah, I scored my first goal. Yeah. That boy, just looked like he took a sigh of like, did I just do that, bro? Kissed our badge, and then he was just like so shocked. You could tell like it was overwhelming him, like he actually managed to score that goal because that looked like a shot which he hit for like, you know what, F it, just pow, and then he bangs it and scores a bang, and then Bellingham and everyone in the team, they start hugging him and just start pushing him and saying like, you're the guy, man, this is your moment. And he was just feeling so good, and that made me so happy because that was like a culmination of our game. This was a very fun game for Madrid, of course not for Valencia, but this was a good game, beautiful game. I rate this game out of 10 from the games I've watched this season. I think as a whole, I would rate this game an 8, a solid 8. It could have been better in the sense that we obviously had more potential to score more goals. I'm kind of bitter at the fact that Mbappe didn't get his hat trick, but that's just personal nitpicking for me. I feel like he was more content with what he had. Even when he was getting subbed off, he didn't look too upset. He was just fine with it because he already had the perfect game, man. His team won 4-0. Got presented with the golden boot and then scored a brace in the same day to show that he is the best goal scorer indeed. So beautiful game overall for me. There was so much control. Courtois didn't really have to do much, which was amazing, but when he did have to do that, they had a chance where the player shot from outside the box and he made a brilliant one-hand save, just boom, that thing, took it out of there. For me, the key points I would highlight is we had an early control and tempo of that game, which we set up for the rest of the match and followed, which I loved. We had clinical finishing from all our attackers. The play was beautiful, and even our defender had it. Our midfield and defensive control was resilient and beautiful to watch. We had some defensive discipline today. Everyone did minimal risk moves, and Dean Huijsen and Militao had another very beautiful game. I will say one thing. I need to give props again. I'm giving another clap because how can he can't keep getting away with this. He honestly can't keep getting away with this. How is Federico Valverde getting away again and again and again with having beautiful games as a right back? He's not having he's not having 10.0 ratings, of course, because he's not a natural right back, but this guy for me had a very amazing game. A right back was one of the most impressive players today. He had a quiet game coming in from the right side. I don't think anything really came from the right side from Valencia's attack, which was beautiful because that means Valverde was doing the most. And I'm happy to say that I even saw him because I thought he was injured after the El Clasico when he went down. But I'm happy to say he's back. In other news, to take it across Europe, Liverpool back to their winning ways. Salah and Gravenberch scored. They beat Aston Villa 2-0. Salah maybe picking up his form. He scored in the last game, scored in this one. Liverpool getting back to their form, which is good because we're going into the big game, which is happening 2 days from today. I'm making this on Sunday and posting this on Sunday, but it's happening 2 days from today. And that, my friends, is once again, I say, the Liverpool versus Real Madrid game. And I'll be posting an episode tomorrow, hopefully I can get that out. I'm not making any promises, but I'll try my best to get that preview out for you guys. We're playing Liverpool. We've both come off a win this weekend. Good mentalities from both teams. Coming in, Arne Slot had a bit of a backlash with the fans, but then I had a very good impression from the fans. They sung for him today, and he said, this made me feel how great this club is, and I want to keep succeeding with this club. So we're both coming in good form right now. I wouldn't want us to come off bad form because I didn't want anyone to feel like underdoggy. I don't want underdoggy in this game. Sometimes that rubs the mentality wrong, because look at what happened with Arsenal last season when they came in underdoggy into the match. So we're coming in with good form. We're having a good game. But one thing I can say, I'm happy with that my team played like this because it shows me against Liverpool, I have high expectations for these boys and I'm not depressed. I don't think I'll be depressed in the sense of they won't meet them, hopefully. But one thing I can say is I love that Kylian Mbappe is continuing his amazing scoring form and hopefully continues into that game, because now I'm feeling every day I'm feeling more and more certified that Come what may, rain, sunshine, death, taxes, Kylian Mbappe stepping up when the moment is needed. This guy, he's really taking that main character energy and playing with it, and I love it. I love to see it. My final ratings, I'll just run through this. We Courtois, I only do the starting 11. I won't do the people who came in. Thibaut Courtois, for me, didn't have much to do in that game, so he has a low rating because he didn't have really anything to do, but that will boost his rating. So I think I'll give him like a 6.97, just because he didn't really have to do anything. Valverde, I'm giving him an 8.1. That was a beautiful game for me. I think that was an amazing game he played. Militao, Hoyson, I'm going to collectively share a 7.2 by the two of them. Amazing game, beautiful defensive structures. Dean was controlling, even going to the midfield to pass sometimes. Militao was holding it down at the back. He made one challenge where he actually ran back and stole the ball from the defender. Amazing. I still say this guy's an anomaly right now. How is he back from 2 ACLs? He got some steroid doping tests to go through, because what the heck is he doing right now? Carreras, I think this personally is my mind of the match. Had a beautiful defensive game, sealed it off with that goal. I'm giving him a 9 rating. I'm giving it a 9, a solid 9.0. Guler, beautiful game, amazing game, got his assist. I actually saw a stat, he's got 6 assists in this season now, which are all leading to the 6 goals for Kylian Mbappe. He's only assisted Kylian Mbappe. I might be reaching, but I saw another Turkish guy assist a European top form attacker for Real Madrid way back when, and the Turkish guy's name, it started with Mesut and it ended in an ill and had a big Oz in the middle, if you know what I'm saying, because that's how they play, and I hope they continue that prime form. Tchouaméni had a very good game. I'll give him a solid 7. Not anything too crazy, but nothing too quiet. Bellingham, I'll give him a 7.8. Beautiful game, beautiful, amazing goal. Had a great game all around. Vinicius, I'll actually give him a 6.8, because again, he did miss his penalty. That docks points for me. He should have had it on the goal. This could have been a game that was 5-6 maybe. He could have had another chance where he would have even scored, but in general, not the worst game, just not his best game. Mastantuano, quieter than Vinicius Jr. even. Didn't really do much. Didn't really even have a chance to score that many times. I'll give him like a 6.5. Not his best game. Okay, maybe 6.7. I'm being a bit harsh. 6.6. I'll level at that. And last but not least, Kylian Mbappe, I'll give him an 8.5. Had his 2 goals. Had a beautiful day. Beautiful game in the office. This was a great game. Xabi Alonso's man management and managing in this game tactically was amazing. Good to see. I hope this was a good response coming off their Clasico. Another beautiful game. Hopefully he continues this into Liverpool, because I told you guys, realistically speaking, I didn't care about their previous 6 games. If they lost 6 games in a row, I said, if you told me realistically that in the Champions League, of the 8 games we're going to play, one of those is going to be a loss, I said it. If I'm a betting man, I'm putting my money on Liverpool to be the ones who could beat us. Not because we're less than them, not because they're a tougher team than us, but because they are a big team, and we're playing them at their stadium in England. It's a long journey. It's a harsh stadium to play at. It's very tense to play from there. We played there last season, when they whooped us, absolutely gutted us, belt to ass, 2-0. We got to get our revenge, boys. This one, that's what it's about. It's about revenge. We did our revenge on Barcelona already. We did a revenge on Valencia. So this is a revenge. This should be our revenge week, bro. Let's just call this the revenge week. We got our revenge against Valencia. They hit us with 2-1. We hit them with 4-0. Barcelona, at our stadium, hit us with 4-0. We hit them with the 2-1. We flipped it with Valencia. And now Liverpool hit us with the 2-0. I'll tell you my prediction if I do the preview. I'm not going to be doing it early right now. But I do hope. This is giving more hope that maybe we can actually take a draw. And if we're even at our best, I think genuinely we could take a win from this game. But we'll have to watch it, because they got a lot of killers who can hit us. TK's form is crazy. Underratedly talked about. I still think you should start over Isak. That's my opinion. You guys can leave that down in the comments, and leave your comments on this. But this was my review of the Valencia 2-1 game Real Madrid took. 4-0. I went to last season. PTSD vibes. A 4-0 game, amazing performance, amazing game from the team. We're now 8 points ahead of Barcelona, but they do have the game against Elche today. Hopefully, okay, I don't know what I'm hoping. It's Elche, bro, but it's the battle of the Montjuic, so maybe they might lose it. If they lose it, we stay 8 points ahead. If they draw it, we go what? Is it 6 points ahead? 6-7. I'll do it for you guys. But if they lose, if they win, we'll stay on that 5-point gap, which is still good in the long run. But this was fun. This was real talk. I was doing my review of the Valencia game. 4-0 Real Madrid. Hala Madrid. Peace.